Hi, welcome back to Joshcore. In the last episode, we built up the last section and the final ending of the mega base here. Now, in between episodes, I've actually kind of worked on making a storage system in here. It's actually quite a small space, and I didn't realize how little of a space I actually had in here. So I've kind of put some chests up on the ceiling here, and then also kind of wedged them in the walls here. Because, for example, if I broke this block, we can see the outside here. So this block kind of needs to be here. Additionally, on the other side, if I broke this block, you can see right outside. So I kind of need the blocks to be here, which sacrifices the size of the storage room. But I do want to move up everything we have in the monolith structure and move it up to the mega base. So that's going to be probably one of the main goals of today's episode, which is finally settling into the mega base. Additionally, you may notice on the left side of my screen, Waffles is now level 89. One of our goals in the last episode was to upgrade this shiny Eevee to get to level 100, to get this advancement. The cobblemon advancement of taking a first stage Pokemon capable of evolution up to level 100 without evolving it. Now it's getting longer and harder to actually upgrade this guy because the more XP you get, it doesn't do as much. You need to get way more XP to level them up when they're at their higher levels, but I do want to get this guy fully up to level 100. Because then we can evolve him into the shiny Embryon, which is one of my favorite looking Pokemon. Okay, as I start moving up my storage into the main mega base here, I gotta start looking at the mini blocks, which is kind of what I want to keep up there. I have the shulker of all the original mini blocks I use, so I'm actually take this up here and practice laying out how I want everything before I start moving it up. Alright guys, so mid decoration here of the new storage room. I have to drop the floor down a little bit just to fit an extra row of chests in here. And one thing I've noticed is labeling the things doesn't really make sense. Like for example, these two chests would be my valuables, this two would be miscellaneous. It kind of works because you know you're at a right angle here and you turn. However, when you're on the direction on the top, like let's say this wants to be my wool chest, I place a block here, it now like floats. It's not going to really work. So I think item frames are going to be the play here, which is what I used to use, and then I swiftly switched back. However, we could still use the mini blocks here because I don't know, they're smaller in the block form. I guess that's not a bad choice there. However, I think switching to item frames is going to be what I'm going to do for this next storage system. All right, so the item frames have been put in here, and you can kind of see the basic layout for everything that I have here. Over here is going to be all of my cobblemon related items. You can kind of see that on the left side of my screen here. This is normally where I put my cobblemon items. So with all of the item frames kind of laid out here, I want to start moving up the items here. So normally when I do first person time lapses on the channel here, I just kind of do a voiceover and talk about life and YouTube and things like that. And I just kind of give an update on all of those things. However, I don't really have much to talk about. The channel's been doing well. My life's been doing well. So I'm going to use this time in the video to instead give you some advice. This is some advice that I've been using in the last couple of months, and it's really helped my life out a ton. And that's simply to do what you love and love what you do. Once you have that mindset in your mind, everything you'll start doing will feel like it has a purpose. Once you realize everything you're doing has a purpose, you'll start enjoying your life more. Even if it's stuff that's not necessary in the long scheme of things, if you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. I know it's a bit of a sappy note and it's kind of a weird thing to put in a video, but I hope it inspired you to just start doing stuff that you enjoy rather than stuff you need to do. Enjoy the rest of the time lapse. Alright, so we have finished up the storage center here. As you can see, I actually really like the way it turned out. We put some of our cobblemon items in the corner here, and then everything else is kind of accessible if I stand in the middle. So like I could turn, grab a chest, everything is very easily accessible, and I'm actually really liking it. You may also notice, I put our PC and our healing machine over here, and then, all of the fossil and pasture blocks over there, just for cobblemon reasons. I just like to have that kind of not as accessible because I'm not using it all the time. However, most of my stuff is in the middle here. I'm super happy with the way it turned out. And using free cam here, you can see I have a space directly above the storage center in case I want to spend upwards, and I also have the space below if I want to go downward. Not to mention the entire structure is basically hollow. In case I ever want to build on the inside here, I can do that as well. But with myself officially moved into the new space here, I want to find ourselves a new structure. Now, I recently added a mod to the world that is called legendary structures. This allows us to get ourselves legendary Pokemon, but with that, it gives us a whole ton more cobblemon advancements to get. Not only do I have to find a legendary structure, but there's actually 4 of them to find, so I want to see if I can find at least one of these in today's episode. Or at the very least, I want to at least find something cool as we go exploring. So I'm going to take off in some random direction here, and hopefully we can find one of them. All right, we did find ourselves a Minecraft generated structure, which is of course the desert temple. Let's see if there's anything good in here. We'll take some dune templates, why not? And that's about it. Additionally, over here I found this thing. I believe this is a cobblemon ruin because yeah, this does not look Minecrafty at all. So we kind of explore, see if there's anything cool in here. All right, we have some fossils in here, but I don't think anything other than that is going to be found in this. I think this thing's a bust. However, there's this structure which just does not look natural at all. I feel like this might be kind of cheating, but I feel like this is here only because cobblemon like ruin may be generated below this, and now Minecraft normal terrain is trying to keep up with generating because this just does not look natural. I might explore down here for a little bit. Okay, well this is definitely not Minecraft related because concrete generated. We have found ourselves Beast of Another World. Okay, I have a feeling we're going to get something pretty important in here. Comet shard can be used as a nether star in recipes. Okay, that's actually really helpful. We can make ourselves a master ball with that. It also looks like it generated inside of a trial chamber, so that's kind of interesting. I hope it doesn't mess up any of the Pokemon spawning that's supposed to happen in here. Oh, okay, there it is. Hello. Let's fight this guy. All right, let's first fight him with Arcanine here. Let's do Flamethrower. It's my lowest attack out of the 3 that I kind of have. Gets him down to 11%. That's actually really, really good. Hopefully won't take out my guy here. Hopefully catch him using a normal Pokeball and we can save our Master Ball. Okay, I wasn't recording. Just got it. That was literally my 3rd throw of the Pokeball, maybe 2nd throw, and we've caught it with the Arcanine. I can't believe that. Let's go. First legendary Pokemon on the cobblemon world. Now that does complete one of the new cobblemon advancements that has been added since I added the mod to the world, but of course it's also unlocked another one. We have to find ourselves another Terra Den, which will then allow us to get a walking wake instead of a iron leaves. We also have to, visit the faraway ruins, a tree of life, and other things like that. Additionally, we can try and find ourselves a Rayquaza in this mod as well. So there's a ton of other things to do with this new mod as well. Okay, so one thing I just found is this shipwreck, and it contains ourselves a net ball, another rod upgrade, as well as a shipwreck cove, which we might as well check that out. Right, on our way to find it here, I found whatever the heck this thing is. Might as well take this out as well. All right, just a couple new pottery shards, nothing too fancy. All right, as you can see, we finally actually unlocked the map here. I've been flying for way too long here. Okay, I think we flew all this distance just to find this thing right here. Kind of worth it, kind of not. There's another map. I'm honestly not doing that again. Nope, that's definitely not natural. Diorite? Nope, never seen that before. Do I have my brush? Okay, so I basically cleared out this thing here, and this is basically everything I found. Nothing crazy, whole ton of ground gems. Let me do this in the air so I don't die. Bunch of ground gems, an ability shield, and then a smithing tablet of an automation armor trim, which is a cobblemon exclusive. I'm tempted to put that on my armor, honestly, because I can always put on this type of armor trim when I play Minecraft, but rarely can I ever put on a cobblemon exclusive trim, so let's do that when we get back to the base now. Alright, we're back in. Good thing we have a new storage because we can put everything away that we've gathered. Also, this is my loot from everything else that we've done today. That was a great exploration trip. Alright, so let's work on applying the smithing template to our gear. Let's first duplicate this. Alright, now that we have 5 of them, we can put 1 away, and might as well put it to all of our armor. Now, I actually don't know what this looks like, so we're just gonna do it and see how it is. And here is the grand reveal. Alright, this looks pretty good. I like it. Not so sure about the helmet. I'm not really sure what this design is with the L shape and this one being straight. I like the chest plate though. Let's see what it looks like with an elytra. The leggings and the boots are also pretty cool. I might change up the helmet, but other than that, I like it a lot. Oh, that's why the helmet looks like that. There's a design on the side, which is also pretty cool. Using the free cam, I can see that a little bit better. Other than that, I think that's an absolute win. Now I want to check out our only legendary Pokemon. He's already level 75 because that's what he spawns in at. Also, before you're wondering, yes, I can close this window on the left here. I didn't switch to any other worlds. Let's bring him out here. Look at him. Oh, that looks sick. Can't wait to use this guy in my future battles, and I think he should replace some of my Pokemon, but I'm not sure who. I'm back at the Mushroom Island now, just killing up some more milled tanks here because that's the easiest way to farm up XP to try and get our waffles all the way up to level 100 so we can get our next advancement. I might work on that in between episodes here, and that will probably be the goal of the next episode because I'm going to call that an episode for today. A ton of work got done moving into the Mega Base and getting ourselves some pretty cool Pokemon and new gear. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more.